In this video, I'm going to give an overview of ITGC, Information Technology General Controls. Understand what they are, why you'd want to use them, and how they can make your IT systems more secure, reliable and effective. ITGC controls are often used as part of business compliance requirements. This includes the COBIT framework, Control Objectives for Information and Related Technology, and Sarbanes-Oxley Act, abbreviated to SOX. Even if you don't need to comply with that Act or any other compliance, it's a good idea to know about ITGC, as it provides best practice for operating IT systems. Essentially, ITGCs are internal controls which help your business to be more effective. This video will just give a quick overview of the different aspects that make up the ITGC framework. The framework provides controls over the major risks related to IT systems. These are in the four categories: access to programs and data, program changes, computer operations, and program development. The first category looks at who can access the programs and data. This should start with the security policy, IT policy, or other policy which defines who is allowed to access what data and the appropriate level of access for each system. Typically, this will be based on the principle of least privilege, whereby only the minimum access is given to a user. You need to ensure that the AAA framework is implemented, ensuring authentication, authorization, and auditing. CISSP also includes identification and accounting when referring to AAA. There should be a process for then adding that access, and at least as important, a process for removing access when someone leaves the company or changes role which no longer needs that access. There should also be a process for revalidating that access on a regular basis. Additional checks need to be made on anyone who has administrator access. And there should also be a process for monitoring for invalid logins. Next is to have controls around changes to the programs. Again, this typically starts with a policy. In this case, it's normally the IT policy, although it may include the IT security policy as well. What is the process and systems used to ensure that changes to hardware and software will not risk either the system availability or the security of the system? Program changes could include hardware or system replacements. Changes to the software, this could include upgrades, bug fixes, or code developed in-house. In particular, changes that could impact performance or changes to security mechanisms, for example, enabling or disabling multi-factor authentication. Another consideration is the approval process. Does someone need to review or approve changes before they are implemented? Is there a different approval process for emergency security patches? Or what about code developed in-house? Is that reviewed by someone other than the developer? The computer operations controls are about maintaining the system, including physical access and data integrity. This will need input from both the IT and security policies. What system monitoring is in place, both in terms of availability and monitoring for potential security issues? Is there fixed job scheduling, and what processes are in place to ensure that those are not compromised? How is the data center managed? Is there appropriate systems for redundant power, cooling and access control? Are there appropriate systems in place for backup and recovery? Are the backups verified and a process to restore data when required? You may also need to include disaster recovery plans in the case the site is completely unavailable, perhaps due to fire or a natural disaster. Program development covers internal software development, but also any software and systems from other developers. As with all these controls, it needs to start with having a policy in place as to how these are implemented. As I said, this includes systems that are bought in or managed services. The controls could start with the selection of the supplier and the acquisition of the services, including the implementation and the ongoing maintenance of the system. Developing your own code, then the system design and architecture needs to be covered, as well as the development methodology. You also need to cover the full software development lifecycle. This should cover in-house systems, which may include testing and software reviews, also for third-party systems, particularly reviews when there is a significant change to the software or to the system. Implementing IT general controls involves an initial assessment, writing document, collecting evidence, and then reviewing. This needs to be repeated as changes are made or as part of a regular review schedule. I've illustrated this as a cycle. This is something that should be repeated. Different systems may need to be reviewed at a different rate depending upon how the systems change over time. This has just been a quick overview of some of the aspects related to implementing IT general controls. There are many sub-aspects to the process which I have only skimmed over. Hopefully this has been useful. If so, please give the video a like. I'll be adding more cybersecurity videos in future, so please subscribe if that is something you would be interested in, and don't forget to click on the notification icon to get notified when a new video is released. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you on a future video.